In this video we have the latest VR news and I'll be investigating the multiplayer possibilities opened up by the new app sharing feature on Oculus Quest 2. Hello and welcome back to the VRCauldron, the channel that aims to bring you VR and Quest news, reviews and entertainment. If that sounds good to you, then hit that subscribe button and the bell so you don't miss a video. You can leave any time you like. Don't forget you can get more VR info from our Discord server, and if you want to see more VRCauldron in between videos, then be sure to check out the Instagram. Links to those are below, and welcome to Jayhan Izzy, again, who got the solitary clip from the last video. So first the news, and you may have heard of the French company Lynx, who are designing a headset capable of mixed and virtual reality. It is believed that it will have the same processor as the Quest 2, the Snapdragon XR2, eye tracking and amazing optics that allows a mixed reality experience but using high quality pass-through cameras. They just released the first through the lens video, which looks very interesting indeed.
I'd buy that for $1.
It looks great, but as it could cost up to $1,500, could it actually become a mainstream hit? And it has been reported that due to the great success of the Oculus Quest 2, there are now 60 games that have earned over $1 million in revenue. Beat Saber, Onward and Population 1 have all earned over $10 million each. In September, the number of $1 million games was 35, which does show how well the Quest 1 did too. Speaking of which, you may have heard that the Quest 1 was back on sale for $199, refurbished units but with promises of no scratches and looking as good as new.
My team is dead!
Well, they aren't dead, but they are sold out, despite the fact that the more powerful Quest 2 is only $100 more. I do still regularly use my Quest 1, and when you're engrossed in VR, you often don't notice the difference, and let's not forget that the Quest 1 was a more premium feeling device and suited a wider range of people due to the more adjustable IPD settings. So the fact that they're already sold out does not really surprise me. It was a really good price for getting into VR. And finally, Oculus have now launched account sharing as an experimental feature on the Oculus Quest 2. That's right, you can now add another person as a user to your Oculus Quest 2 headset, just like you might on a PC. Note that this feature is not available on the Oculus Quest 1. Friends and family can now set up their own Oculus account on your headset and buy games with it, but the big bonus is that they also have access to a lot of the apps and games you have bought when using your device. Of course, this does require that this user has a Facebook account, so it's still not quite the solution a lot of parents wanted to enable them to play lots of multiplayer games with their non-Facebook using kids, but it does seem to open a lot of possibilities. Last year, I looked into the idea of playing multiplayer games using the same Oculus account if there were a couple of headsets in the house. I found that there were a handful of games that worked, and someone even made a list of them on Reddit. Links to the video and the list are below. But sadly, some game developers did not allow this amazing feature, which was a shame because if someone wanted to buy a headset for their children, they would have to buy all of these games twice if they wanted to do multiplayer. With app sharing, this issue seems to be solved, at least with those games that have it enabled. There are still a few that don't. I'm looking at you, $10 million Beat Saber and Population 1. I hope you'll enable it soon, and Beat Saber, while you're at it, I'd love to be able to do multiplayer using a Rift and a Quest on the same account, especially since I bought the game twice. Apologies if this has been fixed in the last few months. I set up Jess with her own account on my Quest 2, which is extremely simple. You just go into experimental features and then just turn it on. The hardest part was the fact that she doesn't know her passwords.
Try password.
Now, what I really wanted to know was if the games she now had access to were treated as if they were her own games. Some top quality games are included, like Onward, Solaris, Contractors, to name a few. If we could now play these together, this would be amazing news. So I took half an hour to get Jess into the Elite strap and tested it on Onward.
Come on.
How do we run really fast?
You push the stick down.
I am pushing it down. Oh.
Like hot push down.
I am. Does it automatically go to scan?
Want to go? Do you want to shot? Why don't you duck down? Tell you what, I'll duck down. And you can shoot over my head.
That keep pulling it?
I don't know.
Oh, hang on, where's my injection?
Have you got a shot?
Yeah.
Hey! The enemies were eliminated! Right, yeah?
Woo! Did I kill any?
I don't know. You got 2? You got 2?
Did I?
Yeah, well done.
Oh, thanks. I was aiming in that direction.
Did you enjoy yourself?
It was alright.
That was the army. It's like being in the army.
I'm sure it's not exactly like being in the army.
Army.
No. I don't think it is at all. Yeah, it was alright.
You like shooting people?
Not really.
I reckon you could be good at that.
I don't
I
think
think we
so.
should play it.
I like the
Arena
zombie.
style.
I like the scare of the zombies more.
The zombies one. Okay. Well, anyway, multiplayer works. That's great.
It does. It was really cool. It was really, really cool.
I also tested it on Solaris, which worked. Also, it's nice that you can now squad up in Solaris, and I plan to try many other titles, but I can't see why it wouldn't work. This feature has really opened up a lot of multiplayer doors. The good news is that all new apps coming to the Oculus Store must have the app sharing enabled, and I hope that some of the games that haven't enabled it yet get that sorted as soon as possible. If you do have a couple of quests in the house, I highly recommend you try it. I know the magic of VR means that you don't really need to be physically close to those you're playing with, but it really adds a new social dimension when you are there. It seems with this feature, Facebook are really trying to get as many headsets sold as possible, even if it's multiple units in the same household. I'd love to know what you good people think about this. Personally, I don't see the Facebook account being an issue, especially if you already own the Quest 2 and the other person agrees to it. Has a lack of app sharing prevented you from getting another Quest 2 for the household? Maybe for your kids? Now, I have concentrated on the multiplayer aspect of this new feature, but those people added as a secondary account holder will also get their own library of screenshots and, of course, save progress in games. It's also worth noting that you can only enable app sharing in one of your headsets, so the one that you enable it on is the one that you'll be losing to your husband, wife, or kids. One thing I did struggle with is locating the video footage that Jess took of her Onward gameplay. It didn't seem to be anywhere on the Quest 2 storage, and the storage wasn't accessible for me when signed in as Jess. In the end, I had to share the video to a Facebook group and grab it from there. So if Oculus could sort that out, maybe by allowing the guest to share to the main account, that would be most helpful. Unless it was just my computer being weird. So which games will you be trying first? Please let me know in the comments below. Also, feel free to let me know what you thought of the Shedless episode. I felt I'd give it a go just to shake things up a bit. As always, if you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button. And if you want to stick around for the VR information and entertainment, then be sure to subscribe and do hit that bell so you don't miss any more entertaining videos that YouTube thinks that you won't like. I've been Al, thanks to Jess for joining the virtual army, and thanks to you lot for watching the VR Cauldron. Take care of yourselves, and I do hope to see you next time. See ya!